Hello, my ninja warriors. What's up, everybody? So, let me set the agenda of today's session. I know you are waiting for this session so desperately, and make sure the moment you enter the session, make sure that you like this session. And what exactly we are going to do in this session? Are we going to discuss questions? Are we going to teach you? Let me tell you that based on 21, 22, 23. That means now we have 6 question papers. Based on these 6 question papers, can we actually predict, can we actually understand, can we actually decode NTA and tell you that what is going to be there on 24th and 28th? JEE Main. So that is what we are going to discuss. Chapter wise, we are going to tell you, subtopic wise, we are going to tell you that which topics, which formulas, which concepts are so important for your upcoming shifts so that you can prepare well in these few days. What say,
Correct.
sir?
Very true. And why this becomes very important is because even last year, ma'am, if you remember, we did the same thing because there was a small break and we had enough number of data points. And the same thing actually got repeated. So even if you check our last year's video, it has got crazy views. In fact, more than the discussion sessions because this is a power-packed session. If you want to boost your score in the 28th and 24th January, all the shifts and paper discussions are useful till certain point, but obviously this is more powerful session. And what we are going to do is we are going to show you the questions, the formulas which are going to be useful, and have a very quick revision. It's not going to be a long session, it's going to be a quick session. Yes, crisp session.
Yes.
Very true. And we'll start off with chemistry and then physics, maths, right, whatever order. So not more than 1 hour, right? Hello everyone, and good evening, and I hope you guys are all geared up for this particular session. And quickly let me know in the comments or even in the chats which shift you are writing on 24th or 28th of January, right? So it's time for chemistry now. Let me just get in Diksha ma'am, and just 1 second, ma'am.
Absolutely. Yes. So in mathematics, let me summarize. I have now seen at least 6 question papers. And if I talk about specifically talking about mathematics, there is a good news that mathematics is not at least scaring you like it used to do in 2025, 2024 and previous years, right? So this year, as you are already aware, as everybody else is on YouTube is talking about it, mathematics is not coming that tough. Even the toughest shift is not that tough. And you know what? Majority the paper, the question level we are seeing, and it seems that we have seen such questions, especially in 2025 JEE Main. So basically, the model of this particular year, all the models, if I see and talk about all the models of mathematics of JEE Main 2026, especially January attempt, I would say that the questions are somewhat which we have already seen in PYQs for all of those students. And let me tell you, students are calling me that, ma'am, because I have done PYQs, especially of JEE Main 2025, and I have always advised that do JEE Main 2025 PYQ at least twice, top to bottom, end to end. Okay. So for all of those students who have actually done that, now those students actually got a great advantage, because you know what, the moment you see the question after solving 2025 PYQs of mathematics, and you'll see 2026 questions, I can actually solve it. This is the question, I have actually seen it, this is the kind of model that I have actually done it before, right? So over here, who knows, ma'am, all of a sudden if math becomes tough in 28, let me tell you, mathematics toughness, if it is going to be there, then it is going to be slightly on a lengthier side. Okay, it can be on slightly on lengthier side. And you know what, if it is going to be tough, if at all, it may be possible 28th, because last year also we have seen that the last question paper, the last shift was slightly on a tougher side, I agree. But even if it is it is tough now, then it is tough for everyone who is sitting in that paper. Okay, and the best part is this is purely on the basis of percentile, correct? So do not worry, just because that what if the paper is going to be tough, it is going to be tough for every student, right? And you're going to get eventually percentile. See, if the paper is easy, the cutoff is going to be high, then your percentile will go low if you're not scoring that. Okay, but if paper is tough, then cutoff will be low. Okay, so for less marks, you will get higher percentile. So please understand, please change your mindset that easy paper means good percentile. No, easy paper does not equal to good percentile, and tough paper does not equal to bad percentile. Okay, you never know. When the paper is tough, you might feel that it is tough, it is not well, I didn't do well, but then when it comes to cutoff, it is again less and you got greater percentile. Okay, yes, all righty. Okay, so I think uh, sir, shall we start with mathematics? Shall we start with mathematics? Okay, so I think chemistry I have already. Huh. Okay, do you want to save? No. So let's start with mathematics only. Okay, I will not take much time and I will exactly tell you that what to do from which chapter. Okay, so file, download and PDF. Okay, so and let me just open from the note. All right, ready for the analysis. Yes, I am starting the session. Actually, we were waiting for Diksha ma'am, but then I guess she got somewhere busy in something, some important maybe. So I think we can start with mathematics, and chemistry ma'am will, Diksha ma'am will join a little later. Okay, I think my PDF is going to take some time. Okay, it's a big PDF. It's a big PDF. Can you see? Okay, it's downloaded now, and yes, import file, mathematics, open. Okay, chapter wise decode I am going to give you, which actually we are doing since past 3 days. Okay, so this is how it is. Mode teaching. Okay, sets sets, relations and functions. Okay, sets, relations and functions. This we are going to talk about every chapter, and we are going to touch upon each and every important subtopic and category of question which actually is coming in JEE Main this year. Okay, so the very hot topic from relations, and you know what, I am seeing this question in every shift, almost every shift. Can you see this type of question is coming almost in every shift? What kind of question? And this is from relation. Okay, wherein they ask you total number of elements in a relation. Okay, and it is an easy question, trust me. It is not a very tricky question. It is absolutely easy on calculation. It is absolutely easy on your thinking also. Okay, total number in a relation. Find out total number in a relation. Total number of elements to be added to make it reflexive, symmetric or transitive. Okay, that depends on the question. I will show it to you, this kind of question. Okay, so this was the question which we can see almost in every shift. Almost you can see this in every shift. Can you see 21 January shift 1, number of relation, okay, which are both reflexive and symmetric. So finding total number of relation is something. Okay, so this is over here, and then we have again, can you see, I was telling this is a relation defined by a condition, and you know what, L is element in R. Okay, L is the total number of elements which is satisfying this condition. M is number of elements to make it symmetric. Okay, find L plus M. Okay, so can you see repeated questions we can actually see over here? Then we have this again. Can you see if this is the relation, the number of elements required to make it symmetric? Are you able to see now? Are you able to understand that what kind of repetition we can see over here? See the number of elements in the relation over here again. So again you have to actually put the values and get the ordered pairs and count the number of ordered pairs. Counting the number of ordered pairs is the key concept over here. Okay, then again, can you see one more question? So can't you see that every shift, I have not seen any shift over here which is not having this kind of question. 23rd January shift 1, again this relation is given today morning only, right? And now L is the number of ordered pairs in relation R. M is minimum number to be added to make it reflexive and to make it symmetric, L plus M plus N. Okay, yes, these questions are already discussed when we were actually taking sessions. So I am not here to teach. I am here to tell you what to study. Okay, so go and watch all these questions we have already discussed. Okay, so based on this, so over here, and there are in every shift we will see this question. So I have told you that this is the one topic I don't think so any JEE aspirant should skip, because you know what, this is the highest frequency topic which we are seeing over here. Then you know what, every alternate shift we are seeing domain of a function involving sine inverse and cos inverse and recurring logarithm. Okay, so sine inverse, cos inverse and recurring logarithm type of a question, and you know what, finding number of question PNC based. These are the two categories which you can actually expect in your functions chapter. Let me show it to you. Let me quickly go through this. See this kind of question. Sine inverse this. Okay. Find the domain of sine inverse this. Now there is a ninja technique associated with it. Ninja technique says whenever you see sine inverse and cos inverse, so any expression which is inside the sine inverse or cos inverse, take that expression, okay, add 1, take that expression and subtract 1, let it be less than or equals to 0, and trust me, if you apply this technique for sine inverse and cos inverse, you are actually going to get your answer in half time. Suppose you are taking 2 minutes to solve that question, this technique will actually reduce the time to half. You will only take 1 minute to solve that question, or maybe less than 40 seconds also. Okay, so this type of questions where sine inverse, cos inverse and logarithm are involved can be actually seen multiple times. Let me just show it to you. One more question if I can see. Okay, not now. Okay, now complex numbers and quadratic equation. So till now we are seeing that cube roots of unity is one topic which we are frequently seeing. Okay, now what to study in cube roots of unity? Let me tell you. Cube root of unity says that z cube is equals to 1. Okay, z cube is equals to 1. So z, if you factorize z minus 1, z square plus z plus 1 is equals to 0. So z cube is equals to 1 is actually having what? 3 roots, which are what? Z is equals to 1, z is equals to omega square. So please understand, whenever you see x square plus x plus 1 is equals to 0, the roots of this will be omega and omega square. And you know what? We have a solid relation between omega and omega square. 1 plus omega square is 0. Okay. And omega power 3 or omega power 3k is 1. So this is what which is useful. Make sure that you are actually aware of it. Okay, and also please do not forget, then whenever you get z cube is equals to minus 1, then roots will be minus 1 minus omega and minus omega square. The relation is still, this relation holds true, but just the roots will be minus 1 minus omega square. So cube roots of unity is one thing, and modulus based question in quadratic equation. Now let me show you the kind of question which they are asking. See, alpha and beta are roots of this equation. So we know omega and omega square. So alpha is omega, beta is omega square. Put omega and omega square. So omega plus omega square is what? We just saw minus 1 power 4. So eventually you can actually solve it. Again, this question has been actually solved by me. Then see, modulus based question, very easy. Mod x minus 1, you have to put t, and this can be solved within 30 seconds. Okay. Then we have again modulus based question. So here you have to take cases. 2 critical points, minus 4 and minus 2, plot on the number line, take cases, and you'll be good to go. Okay. So this question also is discussed by me in previous discussions. All right. Okay. All right. Then we are having matrices and determinants, high weightage chapter. High weightage chapter. Properties of adjoint is something which is coming since so many years, and this year, no surprise, right? Since so many years we are seeing this properties of adjoint, high frequency, high weightage topic. Cayley-Hamilton, this is very important. I think we have got more than 2 questions from this topic. Let me tell you ninja technique of Cayley-Hamilton. Okay, Please remember this ninja technique. Ninja technique says suppose you have a matrix which is 2 cross 2. Okay, suppose 1, 0, 3 and 5. Okay, this is a 2 cross 2 matrix. Now based on this 2 cross 2 matrix, now you can write an equation. What is that equation? A square minus trace of a into a plus determinant a I is equals to 0. A square minus 5 plus 1, 6a plus determinant, this is 6i is equals to 0. So you should know how to write this degree 2 equation in matrix. So this is the technique which you all should remember. If you remember this now, the question is going to be absolutely like you can do such questions in less than 30 seconds if you know this trick. Okay, this is the trick. So this is Cayley-Hamilton properties of determinants. That means you know how to reduce the determinant and eventually open the determinant. These are the properties which are absolutely already there in NCERT. Okay. Then pattern based multiplication, what does that mean? Suppose they will give you an A matrix and they will ask you a power 50. How will you actually find a power 50? By keep on multiplying and observing some pattern in a square, a cube, a power 3, a power 4, 5, 6, 7 and eventually you can write a power 50 or a power 100, whatever they want to. Okay, so this is pattern based multiplication. System of equation, do you remember Cramer's rule? So that is something which was important, that is something which is still important. I have told you multiple times that this is the topic which JEE Main is not going to skip at all. Okay, so this is infinite solution, no solution, correct, and unique solution. Make sure you are solving a couple of problems on this. Okay, and again I have actually segregated all the questions. Can you see again? So this is A matrix 2 cross 2 and this is what is given to you. So can you see over here, I have told you that a square minus trace of a. So 4 should be trace of a. So by this you can say alpha plus 2 is trace of a. I hope you all know what is trace. Trace means sum of diagonal elements. Can you see 4 is equals to alpha plus 2? From here you can get the value of alpha, which is 2. So now can you see the question has become very easy. Otherwise all you have to do is multiply everything, plug the value over here and eventually find it. Not a good idea, not a good method. This is the easy method. So from here alpha you can calculate, from here beta you can calculate. Once alpha and beta is sorted, this is a cakewalk for you. And can you see again adjoint of properties of adjoint is given over here. Then pattern based multiplication. A is given, B is given, a power 15, you have to figure it out. Okay, so you have to keep on multiplying and figure out the pattern over here. And again, can you see this is again Cayley-Hamilton. This is Cayley-Hamilton only, right? Let me write a square minus 5 plus 2, 7a plus 5 2s are 10 minus 9, so plus I is equals to 0. Okay, from here if I take a power 20, 25 common, 20, 23 common, a square minus 3a plus I, okay, determinant, a power 20, 23. So please understand determinant a is 1. So this is 1 only, a power 2023 and this is what? A square minus 3i plus a is 4i. Okay, so this is going to be 1 and this is 4, right? So this is going to be 4 square and I is 1. So this is just 16. Can you see? Within 10 seconds you can actually get this answer. Okay, just by using ninja technique of Cayley-Hamilton, right? Then let me show it to you. System of equations. Again, a question from system of equations. You can clearly see. Then we have again one other question based on properties of adjoint, my dear students. So this question every year in 2025 you pick up any question paper, any attempt. This type of question is already there. For all of those who have actually done PYQs, you do not have to get scared of mathematics paper. Okay. Alright, let us talk about binomial theorem. Kind of question, again there is a technique involved. Power of 7 in 101 factorial, this kind of question, right? How to do that? So 101 divided by 7 GIF. 7 ones are 7, okay, and 7 fours are 14 point something. GIF if you take only 14. So 14 by 7, so this is your 2. After that you again going to, so 16. How many 7 are there in 101 factorial? So 7 power 14 plus 2, 16. correct, coefficient of x power n in quadratic into 1 plus x power n. And most underrated property, let me explain you all the three categories nicely. Okay, I am not rushing over here, please understand. In the expansion of this, okay, so this is fixed. Here you have to expand this and eventually do the permutation and combination, that how to multiply these things in order to get a constant term, in order to get x, in order to get x square, in order to get x cube. Club the coefficient and apply the condition. See, coefficient of x is minus 56, coefficient of x square 0. This is again 0. Alrighty, yes. Okie dokie. Again, so yes, this kind of question. And you know what, one more I told you, na, most underrated property. This is what, now if you are a Ninja Ma'am student, na, then you will be actually able to understand this nicely. If you are a Ninja Ma'am student, most underrated property, what is this property? NCR is n by r, n minus 1, CR minus 1. Okay, this is the property. And you know what, this is the reverse. You actually should be able to write the reverse. You should be able to apply the reverse property, not this. See, understand, if I am going to ask you that write 101C51 and apply this property, everybody easily will be able to do that. Yes ma'am, 101 by 51, this is 100C50. Okay, this is easy. But if I am going to ask you that 100C50 upon 51, you will be clueless what to do. Okay, so whenever you see that NCR, if at all NCR upon something is there or NCR multiplication something is there, remember, reverse, most underrated property. Okay, so over here this is 50, this is 51. Basically the agenda over here is that 50, so 51, now I need 100. Okay, I need actually not 100, 101. So basically I need one more than this in denominator and one more than this in numerator. So 1 upon 101 I need to multiply. So this is n by r, n minus 1, CR minus 1. The right hand side is right here. So this is 1 upon 101, 100 C50. So you'll be able to actually calculate this. Okay, so this is something which is very important. Reverse thing, see, understand, NCR, if I give you, 99% of the student will be able to write this. Okay, but if I give you n by r, n minus 1, CR minus 1, or in fact if I remove n, very less people will be able to apply the reverse property. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And 99% of the time, this most underrated property, they will not give you from this to this. No, they will give you this. They will give you right hand side, and in fact they will miss this n also. You have to multiply, divide in order to make this and eventually write NCR. Okay, yes, alrighty. Next question on your screen. Permutation and combination. Right, permutation and combination. See, this is the question I was talking about actually. This is from binomial theorem, most underrated property. 100C50 upon 51. So you need to multiply 101 and you need to divide by 101. And eventually you have to combine. This is n by r, n minus 1, CR minus 1. So this is 101C51. This is again 101 if you multiply 101C52. And if you multiply finally 101C50, C100. Okay, and divide by 101. Eventually this is half series. Half series is 2 power 100 and 2 power 100 upon 101. So this is the answer. Most underrated property. Okay, you don't have to calculate C50. You just have to apply the sum property. Okay, sequence and series, trust me, this is the easiest chapter to conquer. This is the easiest thing. Basic general term and sum of AP-GP formula, please, I am not going to teach you. This is the type of formulas every 10th grader can also find and apply. Sum of AP, sum of GP, general term of AP, general term of GP. So these questions are coming, and telescopic series. Okay, let me show it to you. See, again, this type of question, a GP is there. Okay, 3 terms of GP sum, 3 terms of GP product. Okay, by the way, make sure that you know 3 terms whenever are involved. No? So here A1 has to be A by R square, A3 has to be the middle. Whenever product is there, especially in GP, take this as like this. A5 will be AR. This is much better. If 5 terms are talked about in GP now, this is how terms you should take. And you know what? If you take in this manner, trust me bro, this calculation is going to be absolutely smooth like butter. Okay. All right. Next, I would say next chapter, limit continuity and differentiability. Okay. So reverse limit question where expansion is used. Expansion of e power x, cos x, sin x. Okay. Then 1 raised to power infinity form. You know how to solve 1 raised to power infinity form? E power, okay, infinity into 1 minus 1. Basically, what I am trying to say is 1 raised to power infinity, something power something, base, power, base and power. Okay. So, e power, so this is e and this power which is infinity will come in front, and this is base minus 1, limit same. So, this is the formula to solve 1 raised to power infinity. Piecewise questions on continuity. Piecewise questions on continuity. Piecewise question, very simple. Piecewise means when a function is given and broken function is given. So they will ask you that the function is continuous at x equals to 3, find the value of a and b, these kind of question. I think in continuity, not much of, I would say, in continuity specifically, not much of creativity we have seen from the NTA's side. Okay. Either they will give you graphical question, mostly they will give you piecewise questions on continuity only. So variety of questions on continuity are very less. Okay, this is not a topic which NTA usually experiments on. Can you see again? See, 1 raised to power infinity. This is 1 raised to power infinity form plus in the end L'Hopital. Okay, this is the category over here. Okay, then integral calculus. By the way, this is the high weightage unit, integral calculus. Okay, I am not talking about differential calculus. Integral, that means definite integration, differential equation. 2 chapters, highest weightage. Okay, so I am talking about here indefinite integration, 2 classic integral. Let me tell you, e power x, f of x plus f dash x. Okay, integration dx is e power x, f of x plus c. Okay, then we are going to have fx plus x, f dash x. Okay, integration is what? X, f of x, based on this formula. So whenever you see either indefinite integration or definite integration and there is an e power x involved, make sure that you are not forgetting this particular formula. Okay. Then we have King's property and ninja technique. You know what? King's property, ninja technique, a question came and every year it comes. Last year also, 2024 also, 2023, I have all the questions which are based on King's property, right? Then even of odd property, GIF based question and area between a parabola and a line. Let me show you the question. See, this is the question, ninja technique. The answer is going to be what? Upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, upper limit minus lower limit by 2. This is your formula for ninja technique. Upper limit minus lower limit by 2. Okay, so this is going to be 4 by 24, pi by 6, pi by 12. See, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. All right. If you would have paid attention at the time of my sessions, you would be knowing it. How many of you actually know this technique? Because you know what? First of all, best part is this technique is a good technique. Second point is every other question can be seen in JEE Main. It is not a random technique just for any question. No, it is a technique every year which can be applied in a PYQ. Okay. Yes, let us move on to the next chapter, which is again, okay, differential equation, I guess. Next should be, yes. Oops, I cannot even tell you high weightage chapter, high weightage topics. Linear differential equation, remember, dy by dx plus px is equals to q. But you know what? This year, if I talk about JEE Mains 2026, only linear differential equation in y is given. But you know what? I have an intuition that now, especially for tomorrow and 28th shift, they can give you linear differential equation in x. Okay, this is LDE in x. Okay, so understand, and here P and Q are function of, this is Py and this is Px. P and Q are function of x, here P and Q are function of y. P and Q are function of y. Okay, so I'm not gonna teach you linear differential equation. This is your responsibility. I am sure that you are that much responsible, that much, yes, that much actually responsible, and that much willing to do some research and get that linear differential equation topic. Practice 2 to 3 good questions on it so that you can catch hold on this. Okay, exact differential equation. So exact differential equation means that you will be able to actually see some quotient rule or some product rule. Suppose this x dy plus y dx. Tell me, don't you think that it is nothing but x derivative of y plus y derivative of x dxy integration? Okay, hidden differential equation, Leibniz theorem. So this is, so I have already told, hidden differential equation was one of the topics which I have been telling since so many days, that please do not ignore this. Let me tell you, this is hidden differential equation. What is this all about? Let me tell you. This is, first of all, this type of question can done using Leibniz rule. You have to differentiate first. Okay, ma'am. So 6 f of x 3x f dash x plus 3, what do we say, f of x minus, okay, minus 3x square. So I have differentiated it. Okay, how? Leibniz rule, product rule, x constant f dash x plus 3 fx minus 3x square. So this is going to be 3, 3, 3, and this is your 2. So 2fx minus fx is going to be just f of x is equals to x f dash x minus x square. Now I have told you, whenever you see, my dear students, whenever you see fx and f dash x together, fx will be replaced by y. This is dy by dx minus x square. Can you see? Again, this is the linear differential equation. Again, same, I told you na, dy by dx plus py is equals to q. So you are actually, when to use King's formula, go and study that King's formula. Okay, I have taught in many videos. Okay, just watch definite integration, my JEE booster session. Okay, JEE booster definite integration. Watch that 15 minutes clip, you will understand. Okay, alrighty, perfecto. Then we have, let me just check. Yes, from conic section, make sure that you are revising the formula of eccentricity of ellipse and hyperbola, formula of latus rectum of ellipse and hyperbola and parabola, all three. Parametric form of standard formula parabola, that means 80 square comma 280 and 280 comma 80 square, standard parabola. And you know what? Chord whose midpoint is given. How to write equation of chord whose midpoint is given? T is equals to S1. So these are the subtopics. I am sure that you are very smart and you will be finding such things. Okay. So over here, see, this is a complete file over here which is segregated. Chapter wise, subtopic wise question I have segregated for you. Then we have 3D geometry. Two topics which are so important, and you know what? These two are from same category. Image of a point, foot of perpendicular. Okay. So make sure that you direct question have came, image of a point. So suppose a line is given, a point is given, image you have to find. If not image, foot of perpendicular you have to point. If not foot of perpendicular, this distance you have to find. Okay. All three categories, the process is same, the logic is same, the concept is same. One concept, three category questions. Okay. Right. Vector algebra, dot and cross product. I think this year vector algebra, not very difficult question were actually seen. Very easy questions you will be able to see in vector algebra. Then from statistics, there is no variety from statistics. Trust me, mean and variance. These two topics, basic generic question based on mean and variance. No trick, no anything. Direct. It's just that some calculation is involved. That's it. But no brain was actually used in doing such question. Then probability, PNC based problems, the basic formula, probabilities, favorable outcomes upon total outcomes, okay, and random variable probability distribution. This is something which is important. Make sure you are doing it. And again, this is easy questions from this probability distribution can be seen, okay. Yes. Then trigonometry, equation solving, equation having trigonometry, then gold formula. So cos 2 theta, remember these two formula, 2 cos square theta minus 1 and 1 minus 2 sin square theta, correct. Quadratic equation in cos. So whenever you see quadratic equation in cos, you will be able to solve it, okay. So these type of problems from trigonometry. Do I have any more chapter to decode? I think we are mostly done. Okay, yes. So from my side, this was the last thing. Okay. All right. So make sure that you do such topics and make sure that you are doing JEE Main 2025 PYQs. Okay. So if you ask me, ma'am, maths paper, what to do? I will recommend that do these questions which have come in this shift, and especially for mathematics, not for other subjects I am not saying, but especially from mathematics, JEE Main 2025 PYQs are going to help you a lot. Okay. Yes. Alrighty. So I am going to call. What do you want to see now? Chemistry or physics? Let me know. Guess who is coming next.
Hi everyone, everybody in the chat box. Yes, everybody. So it's time for chemistry. After that, it will be the time for physics. So everybody, do let me know. Are you ready for the chemistry part? Are you all ready for the chemistry part? Let me just save it. Right, export PDF. Okay. I think Namrata ma'am has already saved it. No. So I'll just save it here, right? N. Okay. So I think it is going to take time, is it? I should have added it there only. Stop. I should have added it there only. I'll just add it here only. I'll give you one PDF, okay? Yes? So, video is buffering, is it? The video is buffering. Is it, everyone? So, how many of you have your exam tomorrow and how many of you have your exam on 28th? Let me know in the chat box. How many of you have your exam tomorrow and how many of you have your exam on 28th? Yes. Everybody, let me know. Spam it down in the comment section in the chat box. When is your exam? Right. 24th, 28th, 24, 28th. So it is mixed. So Yeah, I think it is almost on the completion. So most of you have your exam on 24th, right? So it means tomorrow. And now tell me, is it morning shift or evening shift? If it is morning shift, just write M. If it is evening shift, just write E. If it is morning shift, so accordingly, I'll tell you that for morning shift students, how much time they have. For evening shift students, how much time they have. And according to that time, I'll tell you that what exactly you need to do here, right? Okay. Yes, everybody. Just give me a second. I'll just go here and okay. Let me download it. Okay, so everybody, let's start with this. Let's start with this. Let's start. Evening, evening, morning, morning, morning. Okay, cool. Perfect. So now I'll tell you about like what all morning shift students should do, what all evening shift students, because morning shift students have very less time. So it'll play very safe. Okay. So now here, if you see on, firstly I'll tell you what exactly was 21st shift, 22nd, 23rd, what they have asked till now. Then I'll tell you that what you have to do. Right. Okay. So hardly it will take 10 to 15 minutes to tell you that. So if I talk about 21st Jan shift 1, 21st Jan shift 1, in that from inorganic chemistry, they have asked questions from periodic properties, coordination chemistry, P block and DNF block, right? If you talk about inorganic chemistry, let's see what kind of questions they have asked you there. So from what we have seen in from periodic properties, they have asked question based on the trends of oxides, of electron gain enthalpy, all the important trends they have asked, especially the exceptions they have asked here, right? And if you see this here, this is also regarding the oxides. They have asked you, like here it was acidic oxide, like so they have asked you about oxides here, right? They have asked here, this was a general question based on incomplete octet. For this you don't have to study anything as such, right? But for this you have to study, for this you have to study the exception, for this you have to study the acidic basic amphoteric oxide. So mark it, acidic basic amphoteric oxides, they are asking you exceptions, right? They are asking you, right? Then if you see here, they have asked you question from KMNO4, a very simple direct reaction based question on that. And here if you see, they have asked question on the geometries, like which of the following has tetrahedral geometry, that is from chemical bonding and coordination chemistry. They have asked question on shape and hybridization, right? This was in the first shift, right? And if I talk about the second shift here, now I'll tell you about the second shift in organic chemistry, right? Firstly, I am talking about only inorganic chemistry. In second shift in organic chemistry, what they asked you, periodic properties, chemical bonding and DNF block. What is that? Let's talk about that. So from inorganic chemistry, what they have asked in the second shift, right, of 21st, again you can see they have asked about the ionic character, right, which has more ionic character, right? Ionic character, covalent character based on Fajan's rule, right? Then you have the correct order of electron gain enthalpy, that is under the exceptional cases, right? Then if you see this here, correct order of this thing. Now this is from again from the general size, increase in size, decrease in size, and this part is from isoelectronic species, right? Atomic size always depends upon, this is a very general question, right? Now that means from inorganic chemistry, what exactly they are asking you here, right? If you see it further, what they have asked you, some species, this how many magnetic moment, right? Here they have not asked about hybridization. Here they have asked about magnetic moment. Like in the first shift they asked about KMNO4, in the second shift they asked about K2Cr2O7, right? Again a very simple direct question based on K2Cr2O7, right? So first shift they ask KMNO4, second shift they are asking K2Cr2O7, right? And if you see this here, they have asked the bond length of CH, CO, C double bond. No, this is a general question based on the electron negativity pattern, right? Now, if you see the next shift here and inorganic chemistry, again the topics are same. because very less syllabus you have in inorganic chemistry. So from every single chapter, they are picking out the important topics, right? Again, if you see this here, they have asked you question on HX bond length, then HCl, boiling point of hydride. That is also in the case of exception. P block, group number 16 and 17. Group number, what I am writing here, group number 16 and 17 hydride, right? 15 also, group number 15, 16 and 17 hydride, very, very important, right? So they are asking, even in further shift, you will see they are asking question based on hydrides. Then if you see, this question is again based on the, this is an element from first transition series, another do not liberate H2. Can you see this? This was actually the question of Cu, copper, and they asked about copper and its halide, right? And in the same transition series, you have Au and its halide, right? So this is a question from DNF block. For once, this I have already told you in my exceptional, in my full inorganic chemistry marathon. I have picked up the important lines, and this line I have picked up there, right? That which has positive electrode potential, right? Then it's halide, right? Then they are saying from the third transition series, it is copper, then Ag, then Au. So Au is in the third transition series. So here also they have asked you, then you have to calculate the hybridization. Then you have to apply the VBT theory here, right? So VBT plus the knowledge about that copper has positive electrode potential, they have asked you the question, right? Then this is again a general question based on the, this is the general question based on the shape, right? So N will have positive charge or negative charge, how you write the coordination bond like this, right? Which will have positive, negative. This is a general question, right? Okay. Now, if you talk about next thing here, that is 22nd. Now here from where they are asking the question, let's see that. So what they are asking you, again, this is again the same kind of question that they have asked before also, right? Based on size, ionization, enthalpy, they are asking. Now ionization, now this question, I'll tell you, if you ask me, ma'am, in DNF block also, what exceptions, ma'am, you are saying all the exceptions, ma'am, what exactly are the exceptions that I should do? So write it down, I am telling you now, write it down. First is from DNF block, they till now have asked questions on ionization enthalpy. 2 times they have asked this question till now, right? So ionization enthalpy, first transition, first 3D series, transition ionization enthalpy, first ionization and second ionization enthalpy, as you should know, right? So here second and third ionization enthalpy also they have asked, right? So that is important for you. Then if I say K2Cr2 KMNO4 is very important for you. Then a very magnetic moment calculation from DNF block is very important for you. This is what they are asking again and again, right? Now, if you see this here, after this, from coordination chemistry till now, till before this shift, they have asked no question on IUPAC naming. But just now here, they have asked a question on IUPAC naming. That means it's not like, ma'am, in first and second shift, they have asked this. You also have to see one more thing, that if they have not asked IUPAC naming, they can ask some simple question of IUPAC naming in the next shift. So this is what they have done here. It's not a difficult question, it's a very simple question, right? Okay. Then if you talk about this thing here, mixed oxide, okay, till now they have not asked about mixed oxide also, they have asked about acidic, amphoteric, neutral oxide. And you know, in fact, one more thing, till now they have asked the trends of oxides, but they have not asked which of the following is amphoteric. But they are asking oxides. This is also oxide. Before also we have seen question on oxide. Mark it right now. That means very high chances they can ask you question on which of the following is amphoteric oxide, which of the following is mixed oxide. They can give you some element X. That element X, right, is existing in its +3 oxidation state. What kind of oxide is that? Last year they have asked question on vanadium. Vanadium, the oxide which exists in green color, what is that oxide, what is the nature of that oxide? They have asked question like that. Again, their focus is going on the oxides, but till now they have not asked question on amphoteric. So the chances are, so what you have to see is how to predict. Prediction is they are moving in this area, but in that area what they have not picked, that also becomes important. So in that area they are going towards oxide, but they have not picked amphoteric oxide, nature of these oxides, that they can ask you, right? Then if you talk about shape, so direct question based on shape, mixture of shape and dipole moment they are asking you, right? Then if you see this here, again electron gain enthalpy of group number 16. Before we saw electron gain enthalpy of group number 17. So hydrides, electron gain enthalpy, these are all the exceptions, right? So exceptions, every single exception of P block you must know, right? This is actually physical chemistry, so I'll not move here. Then 23rd first shift. If you see from inorganic chemistry, again they have asked question on ionization energy along the period. This also accounts for an exception in the period, right? The exception of ionization energy that exists in a period. This is also under the category of exception only, right? Then if you see this here, this question is actually based on the VBT theory, right? Which is also a very important topic. Sorry, CFT theory, right? And from CFT, you know what they are asking you? From CFT, you should know the spectrochemical series, right? Write it down. From CFT, you should know the spectrochemical series. You should know how to calculate CFSC. Very important. How to calculate CFSC and spectrochemical series is from where they are asking you the questions. And this question is based on the, again, calculation of CFSC. 2 questions based on CFSC, right? Sometimes they ask you more questions on basis of that. Sometimes this. Now, if you talk about this shift here, right, that just happened now. Can you see so many shapes you have to solve here? This is all from, and I told you this. In the morning shift, I told you this. I told you that students, because in the previous 2 shifts, they have not asked about hybridization like so much. That means the chances of asking about hybridization increases because they will fluctuate. Understand, they will fluctuate, right? They will switch from one important topic to other important, but the thing is they are asking only from the important topics. They are not asking from random topics, right? If you see this here, size of O2 negative is smaller than F negative, electronegativity, again all these are under the trends only. This select the correct statement. Now this is also chemical bonding. Can you see 1, 2 questions on the shape? Before this, we hardly saw 1 question, right? Then if you see this here, PDF will be provided, don't worry. This is on element X, Y and phosphorus. The difference in electron X and P are higher than P in this and that. Now, this question is also based on the prediction of that element from the properties of the element, right? Then if you see this question, this you might get confused whether this is from inorganic or physical. Now, this is a very few questions that are mixture of inorganic and physical. So here what you have to do, you must see that this is +4 oxidation state. This is +2 oxidation state. This is +4 and +2. This is based on down the group, right? Lower oxidation state increases, stability increases. So this will be lead and tin. This will be lead and this will be tin. This will be stable in +2. This will be stable in +4. So conversion of this is not feasible, so it will be positive. This is feasible, +4 to +2, that is why it will be negative. Delta G is negative for spontaneous process. So spontaneity they have linked with here. 2 simple concepts they have linked together, right? So that you must see here. And can you see this here? K2Cr2O7 solution again. Because in the previous 2, in first 2, if you see in the first 2 shifts, they asked about KMNO4, they asked about K2Cr2O7. Then they didn't ask any question on that. Now, on the 3rd day, in the last shift, they're asking you this question. That means tomorrow also the chances of KMNO4, K2Cr2O7 increases, right? Okay. Okay. Now I'll tell you about organic chemistry. So firstly, let me just tell you about inorganic chemistry, what all you should do. So from block chemistry, statement based questions are asked based on exception. I am telling you on the safer side, right? Safer side means, now if I tell you read out NCERT, you will be like, ma'am, we are not stupid, ma'am. At this point, we can't read out full inorganic chemistry. So I'll give you safe questions that will be there in the exam that you can easily do, that are in my notes. You can check out my power marathon notes, that will be there, right? So exceptions, do exceptions. Exceptions of P block are must to do. Hydrides, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, size exception you must do, right? Then till now they have not moved on to the boiling point of hydride, so that they can ask you, right? Do that. Then this is from block chemistry to be on the safer side. Then from D block, do KMNO4 and K2CF, that you now easily can do. And they are asking questions from ionization enthalpy, that they are asking. These are hot topics that are trending right now. Okay. Then if you see chemical bonding, shapes and hybridization, see, either they will ask you more question on this and this. This is what the pattern is. Pattern from pattern, what we have understood is, either they are asking more questions from this part and this part, or they are asking more questions from this part and this part. Either they are asking, so these are the 4-5 topics where they are revolving here and there, right? Then if you see, let's talk about organic chemistry now, right? Where I went? Wait a minute. Let's talk about organic chemistry now, right? So if you talk about organic chemistry, right? So in shift 1, from where they have asked you question, they have asked question based on GOC, isomerism, hydrocarbon, alcohol. These are all the POC, hydrocarbon plus amine mix question. You will say, ma'am, this is the full syllabus only, ma'am. Tell us, ma'am, what exactly was there, ma'am. So I'll tell you. Wait a minute. See, in organic chemistry, lot of repetition is there. Amines, diazonium chloride questions are getting repeated again and again. Aldol condensation is repeated. Hydrocarbon questions are being repeated. So these are ozonolysis, formation of alkene alkynes, right? Then you have aldol condensation. Then you have iodoform test. Then reagents of these naming reactions. So what I would advise you, you can just go through that and then I'll tell you what you have to do. Now if you see this, this is a proof. Nitration, reduction, nitration, acetylation, this is from amines. This is from amines chapter. I'll tell you how many times I'll write amines. This product is formed, nitrobenzene is formed, then you do this reaction is also in amines. This is also amines, this is also amines. If you see this here, this particular reaction is in hydrocarbon. Some reactions are there in like 2-3 chapters as well. If you see this reaction, this is from isomerism. Very simple question based on isomer they have asked. On the definition of functional chair isomer they have asked. This was on the first shift. Ma'am, now will they ask? Very rare chances. Chances are because now they are moving towards difficulty of this. This was the first shift where they have asked question on isomerism, and I have seen that now they are increasing towards optical isomerism. I feel that they will ask number of calculation of isomerism in tomorrow's exam. That is a prediction. I feel that till now they have not asked any question on calculation of stereoisomer or geometrical isomer. So very high chances, because previous in the last year they have asked questions on that, right? And that is a good question, right? So 2 raised to power n formula that they can ask you. So do that. Okay. Then if you talk about this resonating structure, based on resonance they are asking. This is a stability of resonating structure question, right? This is based on again GOC. If you talk about this question, again this is amine. This chapter Hoffman bromamide, again this is in amine, right? If you see this here, this so we have done here, no? Yes. This is okay. This we have done here, right? Now if I talk about shift number 2, most of the question was GOC, isomerism, aldehyde ketone. From here they have asked 3 questions. Aldehyde ketone 2 question, amine and biomolecules. I'll tell you how. Let's see this. So if you talk about organic chemistry, what they have asked you here, 4 molecules are there. Now, no, they are asking a lot of questions on percentage. Dumas and all method is there, that percentage they are asking you, but one more question they are asking you is, they are asking you percentage of a molecule will be there. So what you have to do, you have to calculate how much molar mass of carbon is there by divided by total molar mass of that compound multiplied. So very simple percentage calculation is there. Then nucleophilicity, SN1 SN2 reaction means they are asking question 2-3 times they have asked from there. This is nothing. Can you see these kind of questions? How you will do these kind of questions? You must know all the important naming reaction and their reagents. Even if now you're not good in mechanism, skip that. Mechanism based question, till now I can't see any question except for aldol condensation is a mechanism based question, right? But till now they have not asked very difficult mechanism based question from organic chemistry. Till now they have not asked, right? If in 3 days they have not asked, very rare chances that they will ask you further, right? So high chances are that they will ask you reagent or aldol condensation in a difficult manner, right? So aldol condensation you should know, intramolecular aldol, every aldol you should know, right? If again this is functional stereo position chain, from the definitions you can tell the isomerism here, right? This is again what from the aromatic compound definition is there, directly you can answer from the definition of organic aromatic compound. Then if you see next shift here from the organic chemistry, what we can see, this is a very important, this is percentage from quantitative analysis. Very, very important. Carious method. Dumas method, write it down everybody. Dumas method they have not asked till now. They have asked percentage of sulfur, they have asked percentage of Ag. They have asked, I think, percentage of Ag. I have seen 3 questions on that. This is percentage of Ag. There was also percentage of sulfur. There was also percentage of phosphorus question. So 3 questions they have asked till now, right? Based on percentage, right? And very high chances they will ask you question from Dumas method, right? You should know all of them. Ag, you should know sulfur, you should know phosphorus, because till now they have not asked question on Dumas method. So I feel in upcoming shift, they will ask question from Dumas method, right? Okay, so do that. See that, see numerical on that, and you will get 4 marks, okay, right? Now, this is something you must see that, you know, we usually ignore the qualitative analysis, purification. Chromatography and distillation, they are asking the questions, okay? So definitions of sublimation, types of distillation you have, types of chromatography you have, go through that. If you've already done that, go through that, okay? Directly from your NCERT, they are asking you question from that. These are all NCERT lines. Then what is this? Again, this is SN1 reaction, right? Then if you see this, again, this is amines. Can you see this is again disonium chloride? This is again amines, right? And what is this? This is again amine. This is again amine. So question on amine and Hoffman bromamide, they are in love with Hoffman bromamide. I don't know why, right? They are totally in love with Hoffman bromamide. Every single shift they have asked one or other question on Hoffman bromamide. Now if you see question on hydrocarbon plus mole concept mix, amines plus mole concept mix. Specific question they have asked you here. Let's see how. Let's see how. So if you talk about organic chemistry here, they have asked question on correct structure of Y. This is again from amines. You can see this here. Many times I write it. Reductive ozonolysis. I told you ozonolysis is a very favorite these days. Hoffman bromamide, ozonolysis, right? Then if you see, this is physical chemistry and amines. Amines plus physical chemistry mole concept, right? This is what they are asking, right? So mole concept applied there. Now if you see, from today's shift, what we can see, again it is Hoffman bromamide, again it is amine. Amine plus like reactions of amines, like a lot of reactions of amine they are asking you. If you see this here, again, this is ozonolysis. This is SnHCl. Again, that is the reduction of SnHCl. Before also we have seen, right? This is again, before they have asked you reaction, name reaction and reagent. Here it is distinguished test and the color what it gives you, right? So this is just, you don't have to, that means from organic chemistry, you don't have to go that much in depth. Even if you know the name, the reactant, the product and the reagent, good to go. You will be able to solve the question. So those kind of questions they are asking you. But from GOC and SN1, SN2, you have to know the knowledge of that. You have to have the knowledge of that, right? Okay, so see this here, what we have in human DNA, RNA, chiral molecules. They are asking questions on chiral molecules, right? So now they have, then you have iodoform test here, right? Then what you have, iodoform individual question they have not asked till now, but in today's evening shift they have asked. So till now they have asked tolerance, they have asked iodoform test, and mixture of this only they will go, right? And if you see this here, again this is ammonia, again Hoffman bromamide. This is what? This is ozonolysis kind of thing only, right? Then you have again a compound of nitrogen, sparingly soluble in water, however on reaction with HCl becomes soluble on reaction with KOH plus this, that is carbylamine reaction, foul smelling smell, Q is given, so it is a primary amine. Number of different types of hydrogen, so it is definitely a primary amine here, right? Okay, so that's how you can answer these questions. Again, it is from amines, right? So if you see this, from biomolecules, they are asking you like optically active, purine, phosphate, how that DNA molecule will be optically active. So regarding DNA, NA, they are, RNA, they are asking you the questions. They can ask you questions of DNA, RNA base as well, right? Okay. Then if you see, consider the reaction. Again, this is zinc, right? Then major product A is formed, right? Then after that, you react it with HBr, right? So with zinc, what will happen? Dehalogenation will take place. You will have double bond. Then you add HBr here. What is the product that is formed? So these are the reactions from hydrocarbon. Okay, these are the reaction from hydrocarbon. So you can see, right, till now as such alcohol, they have asked like direct question but not mixed question on that. Mixed means in some match the following they have asked, but you can expect Lucas method they have not asked till now, right? So what I would say, don't go for this method they will ask, that method they will ask. What I would say is from organic chemistry how you have to go, let me see. From GOC, do Barhi full, just do revise this and see how to do stability of intermediates, because from where your SN1, SN2 reaction also will be solved. You should know where carbocation is formed, where steric hindrance is there, that you should know. Then from isomerism, you should know the tautomerism directly, the question till now they have not asked. So tautomerism you must go through. Then the definitions of isomerism, cis and trans properties of cis and trans, right? All these things. Then from hydrocarbons, from all these chapters, you know what I'll advise you. Amines is the most asked chapter, right? But you must do all the naming reactions, right? You must do all the distinguished test. That is must to revise right now. You can't afford to miss it because they're asking you match the following question from that, right? Then aldol condensation, intramolecular aldol, intermolecular aldol, cross aldol, everything you should know, because aldol condensation till now 2 or 3 questions they have asked based on that, right? Then from practical organic chemistry, estimation method, right? You have, as I told you, till now Dumas method they have not asked, but you must know all the formulas of percentage calculation of phosphorus, silver, sulfur. Then you have this nitrogen by Dumas and Jeldal method. Jeldal method still have less chances, Dumas has high chances. Okay. Then theory of purification. Purification, don't overdo this. Just go through simple points, simple definitions and examples that are written in your NCERT. Because based on examples that are written in your NCERT only very less theory is there for this. Go through that, either go through my notes, everything from NCERT only I have picked, right? Then from biomolecules, you know what, right now, carbohydrates and, you know, glycosidic linkages of carbohydrates you must know, because, you know, they are giving full importance to biomolecules, but till now they have asked question on proteins and amino acids, but based on carbohydrates and glycosidic linkages, only one question of amylose was there. So I feel they can ask you question based on that. And DNA, RNA they have started, right? So the nitrogen bases, which bases where. From biomolecules also statement based questions are more. From this purification is also statement based question are more. So you know what they are doing? They are doing that by just doing carbohydrates you won't be able to score. By just doing distillation you won't be able to score. In one question they have asked chromatography, distillation, sublimation also you have to do everything. Only then you can answer, right? Even here also they are doing same kind of thing, right? Okay, so be ready for that. I would say don't get in deep of everything. At least you should know the basic of everything, like basic criteria of everything that you must know, right? So now what I'll do is physical chemistry, right? In physical chemistry, what is the pattern that you can see? If you see here, this is not in physical chemistry. This is Carius method, na? This is from your that organic chemistry only, right? That I told you. If you see this here, physical chemistry mole concept they are asking, right? Mole concept, guys. Limiting reagent they have asked, right? Empirical formula, they have high chances they will ask empirical formula in the upcoming shifts, right? So mole concept question is there in every single, either with a mixture of organic chemistry or directly mole concept question is there, right? So level of all the questions is almost same, right? Okay, so if you see this here, and I can see organic plus mole concept question is also very highly asked, right? So this is also mole concept, right? This is from thermodynamics, like specific heat, right? Heat capacity question. If you see this here, this is from the structure of atom, electromagnetic spectra. From structure of atom, Bohr model they are asking in every single shift, right? You will see this question, chemical reaction difference, their activation energy questions they have asked, right? So I'll just tell you, wait a second. Now I'll compare this with the next shift. You will see the difference. In the previous shift, phosphorus, so I told you na, percentage calculation from practical organic chemistry that was there, right? Now if you see this question here, this is again mole concept question, right? If you see this here, right, this is from ionic equilibrium, but this is like full on conceptual question of weak acids, how you should write it in the form of degree of dissociation and all. If you see this here, this is from the Rydberg. This is again from Bohr model, that is Rydberg equation. Bohr model question is repeated. Other questions are, you would say, mole concept is repeated. Others, this percentage is repeated. This is new. This they have not asked in first shift, right? Then what you will see, another question that is in the first shift, we have not seen a question on colligative property. Here CP was asked, colligative property, right? Then this is a very simple graph of Nernst equation, right? Nernst equation, mark my point, Nernst equation. Now I'll tell you again for shift number, next shift here, what happened. Now here from the solution chapter they went to Henry's law. Can you see Henry's law? Before it was colligative property, now it is Henry's law. It's a very simple question on that. Neither that formula was difficult, not this formula is difficult. So both are easy only. Here they have asked, wait a minute, Bohr model is again repeated. Can you see? Bohr model again is there, right? Then this is also Bohr model, right? This is also Bohr model. If you see this here, This is the question of delta G and Kp, equilibrium constant relation. This is also very important relation, right? Now they have not asked question on Nernst equation here, but I told you if they don't ask you question from Nernst equation, then the question of delta G and Kp will be asked. Till now they have not asked one question. Everybody mark my words. Till now they have not asked one question which was highly repeated before, but till now they in any shift they have not asked it till now, but they are revolving around it. And what is that question? Do you remember that question? If you have M3 positive to M2 positive, then M positive, this is given, calculate this. Delta G is conserved, E naught potential is not conserved. Till now they have not asked question like that, which is an application of Nernst equation only. So I think they will ask you in the upcoming shift. Be ready for that, right? So I think they will ask you that in the upcoming shift, or they will ask you the same question, or they will not ask you something really out of this. They will ask you something that they are already asking, but related to that. Related to that, that is this question that they have not asked till now, right? Okay, now I'll tell you in the next shift what they have asked. You will see till now there is no question on quantum number, right? I'll tell you that, don't worry. Acha, now this is a question of buffer solution. Before what they asked? What they asked? Weak acids. Now it is buffer and basic buffer. Two questions they have asked on basic buffer. This and this. So they're happy we have asked question on basic buffer. What they have not asked till now? They have also asked one question on strong acid and strong bases. I think it is not here. I have not taken the screenshot here. But strong acid, strong weak bases, strong acid, strong bases also they have asked. They have asked buffer solution. Which question they have not till asked, right? They have not asked one question, that is solubility product. So very, very high chances they will ask you this in the further exam, right? Okay. So if you see this here, again, this is on the reduction potential, how it is related to oxidizing power and reducing power. Then from the physical chemistry, can you see first was colligative property, then they went to Henry's law. Now which more important topic is there? Ideal, non-ideal equation, positive, negative deviation they have asked. Can you see the jump, right? They will further ask question based on freezing point also. So all the important topics you can't skip, all the important colligative property they can ask, Henry's law they can ask, negative, positive deviation they can ask, right? If you see this here, in the case of thermodynamics also they are going from heat capacity to work function to this first law of thermodynamics, but till now isothermal reversible question they have not asked, which is very important. So they can ask you that in the upcoming shift. Isothermal reversible question and irreversible. Most chances are from isothermal reversible will be asked. Okay. Now if you see this here, half-life period also from the graph they have asked Arrhenius equation and half-life period from the first order reaction, they are fluctuating between these two topics, right? Okay. Then if you see the next shift here, here again based on the this H2 is given to you, they have given C1, C2, you have to find out what will the E cell when pH will be what, okay. This is what you have to solve. Again, this is from the application of Nernst equation, right? If you see, this question is from photoelectric effect. Bohr model, they are happy. They have asked question on photoelectric also, right? So this question is from isobars. Was there any question like isobars before? No. There was no question of isobars before, but now they have suddenly asked question on isobars, right? It's a simple question, but they have not asked this till now. This is a question on ideal solution numerical. In the first shift, there was no question of solution chapter, but now they are asking you solution chapter question. Now, ma'am, based on this, what we should do for physical chemistry C. For physical chemistry, what you should do? Mark my words here, I am telling you. Mole concept question will definitely be there, right? Either based on organic and mole concept mixture or directly. So mole concept application of that you must know. Then I would say even with organic chemistry, how you add it. Then limiting reagent question they have asked already. Empirical formula question they can ask you. So just go through the formulas. And limiting also, just see very simple question on limiting reagent they have asked. They have not asked complicated question, very simple question on limiting reagent they have asked. Then from solution, then if I talk about structure of atom, till now they have not asked questions on quantum numbers, radial notes, right? Is it not an important topic? It is an important topic. How can they skip that? So very high chances, because guys, if you are an examiner, even examiner know that you will be watching this video. If I tell you this Bohr model is asked, so it will be asked further, I am wrong, then I'll be wrong if I'm telling you that, right? See, even the examiner is that much brainy, even they know that you have time to analyze the papers. So do the analysis right. They have not asked radial node, they have not asked quantum numbers till now. So chances are they can ask you that. Probability of that is more, right? Either say if they want to go in the same pattern, then Bohr, radius and velocity and energy, these three formulas you should know, and quantum numbers, right? Then you go towards chemical equilibrium, dissociation based question of a chemical equilibrium, Kp-Kc relation, and then ionic buffer. They are more inclined towards buffer, but I feel solubility product will be asked, because buffer they have asked like 2 questions on that. So solubility product question have high chances, right? Then because acid based question also they have asked. So I feel solubility product has very high chances of asking, right? Then you have from thermodynamics, heat capacity they have asked. So again, the chances of heat capacity is very high. Gibbs-Helmholtz equation and delta H and delta U relation they have not asked till now. So be prepared if you see that in the exam, right? Be prepared for that. Don't ignore that, because they will try to change the pattern, right? Pattern, why would I say change the pattern, right? It is the same pattern only. From pattern analysis only I am telling you that they are asking direct formula based question. They are not asking very deep questions from organic chemistry either, or from inorganic. Yes, they are asking. From purification theory, yes, they are asking, but otherwise there are some direct questions as well, right? Then you go towards solution chapter, colligative property, very simple direct question based on the formula they are asking. Henry's law also statement based question they have asked. Henry's law, solubility connection, and Raoult's law, direct numerical on Raoult's law also they can ask. But I feel high chances of colligative property, because it's like it's two, three shift. They have not asked question on colligative. So I feel colligative properties has high chance, like vapor pressure, relative lowering of vapor pressure has high chance. Then from chemical kinetics, 2 topics, first order kinetics and Arrhenius equation, most important, right? Then you have from electrochemistry, Nernst equation. They are not asking questions from product of electrolysis, neither Faraday's, and you can just give it a reading, but more focus on Nernst equation should be there, because I feel even if it is repeated, I feel even then they can ask you a different variety of question from Nernst equation, and the formulas of delta G with K equilibrium, delta G that I told you, conservation of energy, formula of delta G, right? They have more chances, right? Okay, understood? Tell me, is that clear? So this is, guys, what you have to see, right? Now, all the best for your exam. I'll just call Shreyas sir. But before that, I would just advise you again, last time, inorganic exception, CFT, VBT, hybridization, MOT. Do this from inorganic. Exception means if you don't have time, do only exceptions, right? And from DNF block, if you don't want to go through anything, just do ionization enthalpy and KMNO4, K2CR7. From organic, do percentage calculation of this Carrier's Dumas method. Then do all naming reaction, all distinguished test. If you have no good hold on GOC, let's say, ma'am, I don't understand GOC. At this point, you can't learn GOC. So skip it. It is very important, but you have to skip it because you can't learn it right now. So what you can learn right now, you can learn naming reaction, you can learn reagents, do that instead of wasting your time on GOC, which actually is a task of 5 to 10 days at least to understand GOC and to apply GOC. So GOC, even if you do now, you won't be able to do this in the exam. So instead of that, do percentage questions, do purification, that is full on. You just have to go through theory, you don't have to understand it that much. Naming reactions, it's all like you have to learn it, right? But aldol condensation is also understanding based thing. So that also I think if you can understand, do that. From physical, do all the topics that I just told you, right? That will help you. And that's it. All the best for your exam. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And those, don't panic, don't stress out, have confidence within yourself, and don't just overload yourself with so many things, right? In that I told you, right? Don't start anything new, what you have not done till now. What I have told you is important, and what you have already done from that, do those things instead of doing everything, right? Okay, so yes, I'll just now call Shreyas sir.
All right, it's time for your captain Shreyas to be here, and let's get on to the physics part. Just trying to save the work done by Diksha ma'am so that you guys get the PDF. All right, yes, your capto is here, bro. Yeah, let's begin. Yes, thank you so much for the hearts and for all the love. Thank you so much, guys. Vanakkam, namaskara, Andrika namaskara. Yeah, welcome. Good evening, my dear warriors. Yeah. So let's begin. Yeah. So I have jotted down some of the topics, and I'll tell you, I'm not saying you just to do these topics, but whatever topics I'm going to tell you, right? Please do that at least, because I am seeing huge repetition in all the shifts and my predictions never go wrong. So please follow these topics for sure. Okay. So let's get to the point, and there we go. Let me open my analysis right over here. Gmail, okay, this, okay, that's me, okay, download, bro, okay, done, import file, okay, open. Yes, just a sec and it will be done. I'm so glad. Yes, Karthikeyan, Sigma Crash was very useful for your revision. I'm pretty sure. Definitely. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And I can see a lot of happiness in a lot of students who gave the earlier shifts, and a lot of messages also I received on Instagram and Telegram. Sir, whatever you taught has come, and I'm really glad. And many students have also messaged, sir, I'm now confident I'll be qualified for JEE Advanced. So I'm very happy. Lot of students who studied under our guidance are going to do extremely well in the first attempt and have already started their journey for JEE Advanced. Couple of students are feeling that okay, my rank can improve in the second attempt. I'm pretty sure we'll work on that as well. Don't worry. All right. So let's start with the first topic. Now, logic gates. Logic gates was repeated a lot. Now, couple of things in logic gates which you need to remember is the De Morgan's law and how to make a NOT gate from the NOR gate. These two concepts are there apart from the regular truth table. So if you see, the circuits of logic gates are also not very simple. They are little bit complex, like this one or this one. So in all of them, couple of theorems like De Morgan's theorem. So remember, in De Morgan's theorem, what happens is, if you have A and B and there is a whole bar, then it becomes A plus B, but each of them will have the bars separate. And same thing, if it is A plus B whole bar, then the plus will become a dot and the bars are separate. Also, couple of things to remember, A bar is nothing but A. Next, A plus 1 is always a 1 and A dot 1 is always a A. These rules, if you remember, simplification becomes very, very easy. Okay. So remember these Boolean algebra rules. So if you have some complex statement out there, like the one over here or here, so start going step by step. Okay, this is A and B. Okay, this is A dot B bar. Okay, this is A or B. Okay, this is the dot of that. So try to write the Boolean expression and then make the truth table or figure out the gate. It becomes much easier. That's what I have seen in most of the cases. Also, apart from that, you should know that if you short the terminals of a NOR gate or if you short the terminals of a NAND gate, both of these are basically a simple NOT gate. So that is what happens. If you see the terminals are shorted, meaning the same input is given to both A and B, then for a NOR or a NAND, it becomes a NOT gate. This is the concept used multiple times. You will see that right over here, here also. Okay, you will see the same thing happening. All right. Okay, so truth tables of AND, OR, etc. and the De Morgan's principle and the concept of combining the terminals into a NOT gate. Everyone with me on this? Shall we go ahead to the next concept? Now, dimensional analysis has almost come in every single shift. Many times it has been seen that if you do not know other chapters, then you will suffer in dimensional analysis. Like for example, take this, epsilon naught E by T dimensions were asked. Now, if you think I need to know the dimensions of permittivity, you are wrong. Think logically, field has the dimensions, or you can say the formula of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. So what happens is this epsilon and this epsilon just got cancelled over there. So knowing the formulas becomes very, very important in the dimensional analysis aspect. Yeah, couple of rules which you need to keep in mind is that when you add and subtract, the dimensions are same. Like for example, this particular scenario, you will notice that half rho v square and rho gh and p, all of them should have same dimensions because they are either added or subtracted. So equating the dimensions becomes important when added and subtracted. And next, this dimension should be equal to this dimension. So either they will ask you A by B ratio dimension or A into B or A's dimension or B's dimension. So I have seen many questions on the dimensional aspect. So dimensional principle of homogeneity is very, very important, which says that the LHS dimension should be equal to RHS dimension, number one. And the last thing is, if you have one physical quantity which is added to another physical quantity or subtracted from the third physical quantity, all their dimensions are same. That is one thing. Another thing which I saw, especially in match the following, let me see if I have it. Yeah, many a times you have to use your smartness in solving the question within few seconds. Like for example, this kind of question where I saw inductance was involved and I realized inductance will have current in it, because come on guys, inductance formula also, if you see, U energy is equal to half Li square. So when you get the dimension of inductance, current is going to come. So 100% when you look at match the following kind of questions or even the options, let's say, you will look for those options which has current in it. So directly inductance will go with current, that means fourth. Then if you talk about thermal conductivity and Boltzmann constant, they are from the chapter of thermodynamics, heat transfer and all of that, KTG. So temperature should be involved in that. So 2 and 3 will 100% have Kelvin in their answers. Then if you look at spring constant, it is based on mass, length and time, that's all. So no question of Kelvin or ampere. So for spring constant, it will be pure mass, length and time, that's all, nothing else. So that is how you can eliminate couple of options, especially in match the following or multiple choice or statement based, whatever kind of questions are going to come. Got it, my dear warriors? Everybody, the tricks? All right. Next. So all terms in physical equations, same dimensions, use known base dimensions treat constants as dimensionless unless stated otherwise. Like gravitational constant, Coulomb's constant, they are not dimensionless, they have dimensions. But for example, time period of a pendulum is 2 pi root L by G, that value 2 pi is the dimensionless. For composite terms, equate dimensions term by term, that means for addition and for subtraction the dimensions are same. These are the key ideas which I have seen, which is repeated almost every shift, guys. It's like I am leaking the question paper to you. Then errors was asked. See, from dimensions and units and errors, so there are two major concepts which are getting repeated, and the error concept. So first thing is for addition subtraction, second thing is for multiplication division, and then in today's shift we saw average value was also asked. Now couple of things to keep in mind. Whenever you have to add or you have to subtract, whenever you have to add or subtract, the absolute errors will always add, keep this in mind, very very important. Like for example, you have to add this and this or subtract this and this plus minus 0.3 or plus minus 0.2 will always add. So it will be absolute error of 0.5, whether it is subtraction or addition. But if it is added, then 20 plus 30 will become 50. If it is subtracted, then it will become 30 minus 20, which is nothing but 10. So this most probable value will depend on whether you are adding or subtracting, but this particular value will always be added. Keep it in mind. Now, regarding the decimal places or significant figures, that kind of question was also there. So, whenever you are adding and subtracting, always the final answer has the least of the decimal places. Very, very important, my dear warriors. The least of the decimal places. So 0.1, 0.001, 0.00001. So least will be, let's say, 0.1. So final answer, round it off to the least decimal place, not significant figures. Then when you talk about addition, multiplication or division or basically powers, so those kind of questions were also there. Then in that cases, it's the relative error which gets added. So let's say relative error in the final physical quantity will be relative error in the first physical quantity plus second quantity and so on and so forth. And the powers whichever will be there will be multiplied here with the mod value. Always the mod value. Maybe there is 1% error in this, 2% error in that, 3% error in that. So that 1%, 2%, 5%, 0.6% will come here, and each physical quantity's power mod value, not the negative value, will come over here to find the total relative or percentage error. And your final answer will have the least of significant figures. Very, very important. Okay. So if I have 2 into 3.0, so guys, 2 has one significant figure, 3.0 has two significant figures. Final answer is 6, because it's not 6.0, because 2 has one significant figure which is the least among 2 and 3.0. Got it? Alright, everyone? So I saw those kind of questions which got repeated. Now this unique question which was here, which is basically some standard thing which you learn, where you have multiple values A1, A2, A3, like that, AN. You take the average of them, so A1 plus A2, like that, AN. You divide it by n to get the average value. You get the average value. Then from that you subtract the average value, whatever that is, everywhere. Average value you subtract from everywhere, and what you get is delta A1, delta A2, delta AN, and then you find the delta average, the average of these errors, and always take the mod over here. And finally you get the answer that this is the most likely value, this is the most likely error from the multiple readings. So this kind of question can also come. Got it? Alright, everyone? Very good. So relative error, absolute errors, and your error calculation for multiple values, these were the common topics which were asked. Next, ray optics, I saw multiple times magnification related questions, and pure geometry based questions were asked. So you should definitely know length formula, 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f, or this is for lens of course, and the conversion into magnification, because many times magnifications were given or asked. So there you had to do this. 1 by v will be 1 by f plus 1 by u. So therefore this is nothing but fu divided by f plus u. So v will be nothing but fu divided by f plus u. So using this we can find magnification, which is v by u. So v will be fu by f plus u, fu by f plus u, and this 1 by u is there, u cancel, so it will become f divided by f plus u. So this formula, if you know directly, you will save a lot of time. Rather than figuring out where the image is, directly you can get the answer. So this was one such question. Find the focal length was asked, f was asked, magnification if you know, and object distance if you know, you can definitely get the answer. Similarly, this kind of question also very important based on pure geometry, where you have to figure out what is the beam width, and this is a non-traditional question because the rays of light will focus at the lens's focus point, and then again it will start diverging and it will become a beam of a different width. So here you have to use similarity of triangles. So similarity of triangles is very often asked, you know, in ray optics, even in mirrors, where you are standing, somebody else is standing behind the mirror, and you have to figure out the minimum size of the mirror. Many times it is the similarity of triangles which will help you. And when triangles are similar, the sides, the altitudes, the bases, everything are in the same ratio. Keep that in mind. Next important concept in ray optics was the prism, and this time they also asked the combination of prism related concept. So guys, for example, prism formulas, like for example delta is equal to I plus E minus your A, right, this one, or you know when delta is minimum, then your I and E are equal, right, and then you have your formula of mu is equal to sine of A plus delta minimum by 2 by sine of A by 2, this one, or even angle of prism is R1 plus R2. These formulas were very useful. Many questions were definitely there on that, and sometimes the questions also involved drawing the geometry. Maybe there was internal reflection or something over there. So this could be the critical angle. This could be the critical angle so that the ray will graze over here. So you might have to also use Snell's law and geometry, Snell's law and geometry in most of those cases. This particular question, combination of prism, guys, keep in mind, if there is no deviation, no net deviation, that means total deviation is 0 for combination of prisms. So the deviation in the first prism is the deviation in the second prism. So angle of prism into mu minus 1 is angle of prism and refractive index minus 1 in the second one. This is for no net deviation. If there is no net dispersion, then the formula is different. Delta theta 1 is delta theta 2, and for delta theta 1 the formula is A1 mu of let's say red minus violet over here, and same thing over there also. Okay, so mu violet 1 minus mu red 1 is equal to angle of prism into mu violet 2 minus mu red 2. So this becomes the formula for no net dispersion. This is the formula for no net deviation. So these kind of questions expected in the further shifts. All right. So that was your ray optics. Next, rigid body. Two major concepts have repeated again and again and again. What are those two concepts? Moment of inertia and angular momentum with conservation. So like for example, this came in today evening shift, where a mass is removed and how much is the moment of inertia, or a disk is there of different thickness or same thickness, moment of inertia ratio or moment of inertia is same, what is the thickness ratio, or you have a cylinder which is long and you have to find the moment of inertia of that. So guys, normally we know the rod's moment of inertia is ml square by 12. We know the disk's moment of inertia is mr square by 2. But here we have asked what is the moment of inertia of a rod which is not thin, and then it becomes ml square by 12 plus mr square by 4. So this formula was also asked. So that's something new, expect it even in the further shifts. So many questions on parallel axis theorem, perpendicular axis theorem, cavity problem or a solid cylinder problem. Do not expect direct question that just find basic moment of inertia. So please go through these kind of questions where maybe you are given triangle structure and find out what is the moment of inertia, or a square structure, or maybe a cross structure, or maybe a T structure, and find out what is the moment of inertia, plate, what is the moment of inertia, solid sphere, cuboid. All right, all these things, please go through it. Everyone, cool? Next, apart from the moment of inertia and your parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem formulas and all the regular formulas, yes, conservation of angular momentum. So for angular momentum, it is I into omega if it is a rigid body, but if it is a point mass, for a point mass, it is nothing but mr cross v. That's what the angular momentum is. And if net torque is 0, then initial angular momentum is final angular momentum. So there were questions where masses are sticking to it and then it is rotating, find the new angular speed, or there is a rod which is rotating, masses are stuck, what is the angular momentum? So these kind of questions are very common, and you should know how to calculate moment of inertia to find angular momentum. So moment of inertia is the most important thing. Without that, you can't even solve angular momentum. So please go through these formulas again and again. Everyone with me? Yep. Let me know quickly in the chat box. Yes. How many of you have revised most of these topics and realized that yes sir, this is very important for me in my JEE mains? Let me know quickly in the chat box. Let me know quickly in the chat box. Yeah, very good, very good. Amazing, amazing. Now, next, simple pendulum formula has come multiple times. Simple pendulum time period is 2 pi root of Lg, just based on this. So expect questions on, even the lift is there and it is going up and down. So plus minus a kind of questions might come, where if you take that pendulum up in the lift, then it will become g plus a. If it is going down, it will be g minus a. How will length depend on time? How will time depend on g? How will g depend on length if time is same? And then what will happen if there are so many oscillations for this length? If the length changes, how many more oscillations will it do? So that kind of questions have come, or simple graph based questions have come. Okay, so very, very important, very, very important. Moment of inertia of a cavity. See man, what you need to do for moment of inertia of a cavity. Say for example, this is the disc which is being removed. Okay, so this is equal to this entire disc minus this one. Let's say this is the axis about which you have to measure it. Show the same axis over here and this axis is over here. So first thing that you need to do is calculation of mass. Assuming the area density is same, mass per unit area is same. So I can say sigma is equal to mass of this entire disc divided by the entire area. Let's say it is pi r square. So this mass will be sigma pi r square. Maybe this is small r, this is capital R. So this mass 2 divided by the area, which is pi r square, will be same area density. So m2 will be sigma pi small r square, the radius which has been removed out of it. So this was the disk which is remaining, cavity has been created. Now the next step what you need to do is figure out the moment of inertias. So about this axis, the moment of inertia will be m1 by 2 r, m1 by 2 r square. This is a complete disk, so mr square by 2. Here about this axis, yes, it is m r square by 2, but the actual axis is here because that is over here. So that moment of inertia will be m2 r square by 2 plus whatever is that shift, let's say it is d, so plus md square. So then our final moment of inertia will be I1 minus I2, because from this you are taking out that. So whatever is this inertia minus this inertia, the remaining will be the remaining moment of inertia. Got it? So the person who asked this particular doubt, let me know quickly if you understood what has to be done, and you will see that the mass m1 and m2 when substituted, sigma sigma will get cancelled out if needed. Okay, you can take it outside. All right, mass per unit area, you can take it outside. Yeah, cool, great. Now apart from simple pendulum, this formula, yes, capillary action, many times it has come. So what will happen if angle of contact changes or radius changes, surface tension changes, what will happen to the height of the liquid? In fact, they combined it with errors also. Now this is a very important thing. See guys, height formula for rise or dip is 2 times s cos theta by rho gr. By the way, keep in mind, even if I have another tube which is at an angle, that height will not change. Yes, the length inside the tube will change. But the actual height will never change, even if it is a capillary at some angle. It will not matter. Now, forget surface tension. In general, you should know this, that say for example, the surface tension increases or cos theta increases, then the height will also increase. But if for example density increases or gravitational acceleration increases or r increases, the height will decrease. So whenever that increase decrease question comes, not error, increase decrease, what is the effect of changing it? So be careful guys. So error wise, this is delta h by h is equal to delta s by s, delta cos theta, let's say for example by cos theta. This could be any quantity, not necessary this formula, any formula, let's say time period or terminal velocity or anything. Okay, delta rho by rho, then it is delta g by g, then it is delta r by r. So keep in mind, the contributing factors positively are surface tension and your cos theta, whereas negative contributions are density, gravity and the radius. So if density increases 2%, it will reduce the height by 2%. If surface tension increases by 5%, height will also increase by 5%. Okay, I hope this is absolutely clear, my dear warriors. Great. So these kind of concepts were also very common. That's what I saw. All right. Yeah, same thing which I have written over here. Next important thing, yes, field and flux, many questions came. So there was one question with Newton's law where field was given, gravity is given, how will the equilibrium be, or maybe you have taken a charge from one point to other point, what is the work done by it? So this is very simple, force is equal to charge multiplied by field. Okay, sir, over here which formulas do we need? Keep in mind that if you find delta U, change in potential energy, it is the charge into potential difference. This is always the work done by external force, but this is also negative of the work done by the electric force. Very, very important. This is external force. This electric force will always do negative work. So this formula is very, very, very useful many times. Okay, you should be able to remember the potential formulas due to point charges or standard geometries. So like the potential is given by kq by r for potential due to a point charge. Field due to a point charge is kq divided by r square. Remember, potential is a scalar quantity, field is a vector quantity. So that comes in particular use when you have to find field or potential due to multiple charges. Like for example, over here, these formulas have come, okay, in particular use. I think that questions I have not put over here, but yes, there were questions on that. Not sure where it went. It has gone somewhere. Okay, I'm not able to find it. I had to put it, maybe it has not got pasted, but yeah, there were many questions on that, guys. By the way, And then questions on flux also came. Questions on flux. Know this geometrical concepts. Yeah. So for example, if you have a cube and you place a charge over here, the flux due to this charge, will be q1 by epsilon naught, but 8 times less. Yes, 8 times less, 1/8 of the flux will go. Similarly, if you place a charge on the center and the center inside the cube, wherever you place it, then that flux will be q2 by epsilon naught, entire flux will go. Then the next thing might come is, let's say for example, you have placed the charge on the face of it. Let's say this is charge q3 on the face, then the flux is given by q3 by epsilon naught, but exactly half of the flux will go. So half the flux will go inside the cube. So these three positions particularly are very, very important. One more position which can come of great help is if you place the charge over here on the edge center, then the flux is q4 divided by epsilon naught, but 4 times. 1/4 of the entire flux, because you can imagine 4 cubes beside it and 1/4 of the flux passing through the cube. So if you know these terms, I'm not saying by heart it, think why it is coming 1/4, 1/8 or half. That is more than enough to solve the problems. Okay, everyone? Right. Then magnetic field, motion in a magnetic field, EMI. This question I did it even in our mock test. So know the magnetic field formula for a arc, for a loop, for an infinitely long wire and a wire which is short. And also when it starts moving, there will be a force acting on it, and it might definitely be useful for finding the speed or how much external force is required, those kind of questions. So field due to loop, solenoid, there was a question on solenoid also, then your wires, even arcs, all these things, a ring, okay, on the axis, you should know these formulas. And of course the force formula, which is QV cross B, or on a conducting wire it becomes IL cross B. So this formulas will be very, very useful in solving the questions. Okay. Then when the rods begin to move, then there is motional EMF induced is LVB, LV into B. That is the voltage which is induced in that rod. Because of that EMF, you get induced current, which is induced EMF by the resistance of that coil or the wire or the rod. From that current, you can substitute it back here to find out the force, and that force might be balanced with mg or whatever external force, and that's how you solve the question. So these kind of concepts have repeated multiple times. You can see over here, it is moving with a constant velocity, meaning my external force is being balanced by my ILB force. Same thing, the diagram has been rotated over here, and over here my ILB force is being balanced by my mg force. Nothing else. Same questions, models are getting repeated again and again. This is the question on, motional EMF, the same formula which I gave you over here, LVB. I feel there might be a next time question on a rod which is being rotated, and what is the EMF induced, guys? Quickly spam the answer. Yes, it is B omega L square divided by 2. B omega L square divided by 2 is the formula when you have a rotating rod of length L inside a magnetic field. Yeah, that kind of question might also come. Okay, so these are the formulas which I just mentioned it to you. Long wire or a loop or an arc, all these things might come. Then dielectric constant and capacitance has also come multiple times. So keep in mind, if you have an air gap, then the formula for capacitance is epsilon naught A divided by the first distance divided by dielectric constant. If there are multiple slabs, d2 by k2 plus like that, last dn by kn. If there is an air gap, then whatever the distance is there, that k value will be 1. Remember, for air, the dielectric constant is 1. So substitute 1 as K, you will get the answer for such kind of questions. This is a simpler formula than some complex formulas. In these type of questions, you need to figure out how is the current getting distributed. See, if the slabs are one after the other, this is K1, this is K2, this is K3, then obviously they are in series. But if you see the slab here and here, then this is K1, this is K2, then it is obviously in parallel. Use capacitance in series and parallel formula. Like for parallel, it is C1 plus C2, whereas for series, it is C1, 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 is equal to 1 by CS. This is nothing but CP. So you should know how do we combine capacitances in series and parallel basically. Is that right, everyone? So these are again important concepts which are getting definitely repeated. Same thing I have mentioned here. Yes, when you add a dielectric medium, the capacitance increases K times, okay, based on the dielectric strength of the medium. Charge is equal to capacitance into voltage, and series and parallel formulas asked multiple times, not directly but indirectly. So just doing simple questions will not do. Okay. Then I also saw this particular question which was asked multiple times on terminal velocity. Yes, my dear warriors, terminal velocity has come multiple times. So please remember the formula for terminal velocity. Yes, first of all, it is 2r square difference of the density of the solid and the fluid into gravitational acceleration divided by 9 times viscosity coefficient. And when it is at terminal velocity, the buoyant force and your drag force balances the weight so that the net acceleration becomes 0 and the velocity becomes constant. That is the concept behind terminal velocity. The drag force, this is the drag force or the viscous force given by Stokes' law, is 6 pi eta r into v. R is the radius, v is the speed. So these concepts have come multiple times. You can see, find the ratio of terminal speeds or what is the terminal speed, and here error concept has come because it depends on the formula. So if you know the formula, only then you can predict what is the relative error in the quantities, right? So this have come multiple times, my dear warriors. Yes, perfect. Then Young's double slit. Yes, so many times. Last year also it got repeated. I told you it is a high weightage topic. They love YDSC. It is the favorite. So statement based questions, finding the fringe width question, this has come multiple times. Now mainly this concept was not there last year multiple times, but this has been asked now. So guys, remember these things. First of all, fringe width, wavelength into distance from the slits to the screen is d upon distance between the slits. Please remember this d is distance between the slits. It has no effect on width of the slit. Please understand. So this is one slit, this is another slit. This is basically your small d, and this is your capital D where your screen is. This is your screen. This is your screen. But this one is the width of the slit, and yes, width of the slit affects the intensity of the light which comes out of it. So width affects the, this is the width of the slit, affects the intensity of the light coming out from that particular slit. Keep that in mind. So a lot of students got confused there. Angular fringe width is lambda by d, wavelength is c by f or c is lambda f. Lastly, this, if you add a slab in front of one of the slits, the entire pattern will shift, and that shift is given by refractive index of that film minus 1 into thickness of that film. So where did it go? Yeah, this mu minus 1 into thickness of that film which is placed into capital D divided by small d. This formula is very critical, guys. Please remember it. Also, you should know how maximas and minimas are measured. They can be also conceptually checked. What is the meaning of third minima, fourth minima, fifth maxima, second maxima, bright fringe? You should know the basics of this apart from interference concepts. Okay, great. Then what is the next thing which was asked? Yes, right over here. Photoelectric effect, basic photoelectric effect questions. find the frequency, find the work function, find the stopping potential, find the kinetic energy. 100 times I have made you solve these kind of questions, guys. So you should know energy of a photon is hf. The energy of the photon is work function plus maximum kinetic energy, and maximum kinetic energy, needless to say, is charge into the stopping potential. That's one important thing. And the work function is frequency of the threshold light into Planck's constant, right? So these are some basic things which you should definitely know regarding photoelectric effect, apart from how intensity affects current. So more intensity means more current. Intensity has no effect on stopping potential or on the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy or the stopping potential only changes because of the light's frequency, not its intensity. So these are important things which you should know. Then gas laws has come. Standard gas laws, guys. Adiabatic process, isothermal process, isobaric process, CP, CV, KTG, thermo. Standard basic things have come, not complex questions. So that's one good thing. So from KTG, thermo, simple questions have come. At this temperature, this is the volume. At that temperature, what will be the pressure or volume? Or, you know, if the temperature becomes so many times, what will be the, volume, or what, identify the gas. So basically your gamma you have to find. So standard things. For isothermal process, T is constant, PV is constant. For isobaric process, pressure is constant. So volume is proportional to temperature. For adiabatic process, PV raised to gamma is constant, heat is not absorbed or released. So these kind of relationships are seen multiple times, apart from PV is equal to nRT. Yeah, PV is equal to nRT. Yes, correct. Gamma is Cp by Cv, which is also 1 plus 2 by degrees of freedom. Then your Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Then for change of state, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. This formula was also used. So basic gas laws which you have studied in physical chemistry are used again and again over here. This was again a common concept repeated. Then projectile motion also got repeated, guys, multiple times, but it was very simple question like, what is the speed at the bottom versus at the top, or kinetic energy ratio at the bottom or the top. So that was very simple question. But apart from that, please remember height formula, range formula, time of flight formula, how horizontal acceleration is not there, so velocity will remain constant, vertical velocity will keep changing. So although these questions did not come as of now, but this may come in tomorrow's or in 28th January shifts. Okay, yeah, these are very, very important. How to crack JEE in 5 hours? Don't worry, I'll make a video, or not video, I'll make a short of how to crack JEE in 1 minute. So do one thing, sleep now for 4 hours and 59 minutes, and after that wake up and watch my short which I will make for how to crack JEE in 1 minute. In that I will explain. So that's how you crack JEE in 5 hours. Okay, cool. So my dear warriors, equation of trajectory also did not come as of now, but it might come in the tomorrow shift or in 28th January shift. Then current, electricity and energy problems, guys. Yes, so Wheatstone's bridge has come and heat problems have come. That means power formula, or you can say, yes, power is equal to V square by R or is equal to I squared R formulas. Wheatstone formulas have come. Wheatstone's concept has come. Meter bridge, Wheatstone's meter bridge concept in fact got repeated 2 times. So please go through that formula, which is R1 by R2 is equal to L divided by 100 minus L, all of that. Then series, parallel, basic combination, series and parallel basic combination of resistors has come multiple times. So please go through it. Yeah, okay. Then find the heat produced in that time period. So magnetic field, this was actually electromagnetic waves, not current electricity. So over here you should know how is the, what is this, intensity related to your magnetic field or electric field. So intensity is nothing but half B naught square by mu naught into C, which is also half epsilon naught E square multiplied by C. So intensity is nothing but power divided by area. This is power divided by area, right? So these are some standard things which you should definitely know, okay, in multiple questions. Then if heat produced is asked instead of power, then remember that heat produced will be whatever is that power that you get multiplied by the time. So V square by R into time or I squared R into time will give you the heat, okay, or the power loss in general. Yeah, everyone? Great. Yeah. Sir, intensity is square of slit width? No, intensity is directly proportional to slit width. If you're asking me in YDSC, right? Yeah, where is that YDSC? Yes, over here. No, it is not proportional to square. Intensity is proportional to width and it is proportional to the amplitude square. There is a difference in amplitude and slit width. Yeah. Potentiometer did not come. Meter bridge has come. Meter bridge. Not potentiometer, man. Not potentiometer. Okay. Great. Then Bohr's model has come multiple times with Lyman series and Balmer series and all of that. So multiple things that you should know is R is equal to R naught Z by N square. Velocity is nothing but sorry, this is N square by Z, my bad. N square by Z. Then velocity is V naught Z by N. Then energy will be minus 13.6 Z square by N square in electron volt. This has come. Then also the total energy is negative of kinetic energy, and what else? The two times of total energy is equal to potential energy. So these formulas you should know. Apart from angular momentum is NH divided by 2 pi, and the electric force gives the necessary centripetal acceleration. So mv square by radius of the orbit. So these basic formulas you should definitely know. Yeah, everyone. Max power in AC. So if you want power in AC circuit, then it is Vrms, Irms into cos of phi. Vrms is maximum voltage by root 2, Irms is maximum current by root 2, and cos phi, you can use that triangle where this is Z, this is R, and this is XL minus XC. So this will be R divided by Z, where this is basically your phase angle. So this formula also came into use sometimes, and if you know power, from that you can get the heat value. Heat will be again power multiplied by the time, standard. Okay, if that is what the question you are asking. Then Rydberg's constant related questions also came. So standard formula 1 by lambda is Rydberg's constant Z square. Even in my mock test, most predicted, I gave you this formula and I told you there will be questions on Lyman-Balmer. Yeah, even before JEE Mains started. So 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. And now you should know how those series lines work. Like for example, this is infinity. And then slowly you come inside over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say this is infinity. So if you are talking about Lyman series guys, Lyman series means over here these lines are Lyman series. This is Lyman series. Then you have Balmer, goes like this. These are the transitions which occur for Balmer series, and then you have Paschen series which goes like this. Yeah, this is Paschen series, and keep in mind smallest line versus largest line. How do I differentiate between that? So the logic is delta E, change in energy, is h c by lambda. So if the energy gap is more, the wavelength is less, and vice versa guys. If you see the energy gap is less, then the wavelength is more. So if the smallest wavelength of Lyman is asked, that means you will look for the largest energy difference from infinity to 1. So it is opposite, energy and wavelength. Keep that in mind. So these were the concepts which got repeated multiple times, my dear warriors. So I think we have discussed many concepts in a short duration of time. So that is why this is a power marathon, power packed session for the 24th and 28th January students. Please share it across in all your groups, Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat. Yeah, you can post like this and you can, post it on your Snapchat and you can send it to someone. Okay. So you can impress all your crushes by this particular session. They will definitely thank you. Okay, pout and send it like this. Karke, okay. Thank you so much, guys. All the best. I'll be seeing you again tomorrow, day after, and whenever. And happy Republic Day for all of you. But for all the students who are going to give the 28th January shift, there is no such holiday. You have to study. All right. Great. Thank you so much. And do not use to come method, please. God save you. God save your soul. Please do not use to come methods. Not allowed. Maybe one or two questions max per subject. Max, I'm saying. That too, it depends. That too, with calculations and so many other things. Avoid, man. Okay. Thank you. Love you all so much. Bye bye. God bless you all. Take care.